Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. My name is Cambria. Today, as you can tell by the title, I feel like I say that every video, as you can tell by the title, is I'm going to be answering some questions about going to a Christian school, answering some assumptions. I asked for true false, but I actually didn't even get any true false, so I got some questions and I got some assumptions mixed in with assumptions that I had before going to a Christian school and questions that came to mind before I actually attended a Christian school. So if you don't know and if you are new, I am a junior at a Christian university. Very small. I've been getting a lot more views on my videos that pertain to going to a Christian university, and so I kind of just wanted to set the record straight. Also, completely speaking to my experience, this might be very different at other Christian colleges. Even if you go to my school and are watching this and you think differently, it's totally okay. This is just my perspective and opinions on everything. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the questions. I feel like one of the main questions that comes up has to do with parties, frat parties. Is there drinking? Is there Greek life? Like, what does that environment actually look like at a Christian school? So I'm gonna break this down into a couple questions. The first question I'll address with that package is there Greek life at all? We have sororities and fraternities. They're not called sororities and fraternities, and they're not real sororities and fraternities. We just call them social clubs or just clubs in general. For example, I'm in Delta Gamma Rho. I joined my freshman year. There is so many questions that could be answered about club stuff, so I don't know how much I want to go into detail. So as you know, like, the normal sorority would be called Delta Gamma, but we're in Delta Gamma Rho. Another example, there's Pi Theta Phi, which I think the normal sorority is Pi Beta Phi or something like that. We have like the Greek letters. We don't have any hand symbols though. We're more known for our colors. I don't know if that's the same as sororities. We call Delta Gamma Rho DGR. Like, no one says Delta Gamma Rho. We call Pi Theta Phi PTP. There's some clubs where they're not. Like, we have Zeta Rho and we just call them Zeta Rho. We also have Jagoja. We just call them Jagoja. I guess not even all of them are Greek. Like, Jagoja, isn't that like Japanese or something like that? So with that, like, we have our jerseys. We wear jerseys every Friday. I like never wear my jersey on Friday, but we have like a whole club process. Like, I know for sororities there's like rush week and recruitment and all of that, and we have, oh, how much detail do I want to get? Because this could be a whole video on itself. It's like the first like 3 months you're like going to mixers and like meeting all the clubs, and then there's like first round, second round, third round mixers, and then you have to be invited to fourth round, and then we pick all our girls. DGR is one of the bigger clubs, so we take in 40 girls. My roommate's in PTP and they took 53 girls. That's really big, and I know in public universities it's like hundreds at a time, but not for us. And then we have club week. We actually had club week last week this year because of COVID, but usually we have it in October. We're not allowed to call them pledges. A lot of stuff with club week, oh, that could get into so much stuff. Ask me specific questions you want to know about club week and the pledge process. Oh my goodness, there's so much I could talk about with this, and it's just the first question and we're already 10 minutes into filming. We do have functions. They're not like college parties, but I'm gonna get into that with the second question. But yeah, we do have functions every month or so. It's been different because of COVID. Our functions are like, we went to this campground and we played games and roasted marshmallows and hung out and slept over there. What other functions has there been? There's like Box Mania, where they go to a like boxing match and dress up and stuff. I don't know, I've never been. I'm not even for sure. We did a bonfire function, so stuff like that. Anyways, going into the second question, which is, are there normal college parties or anything like that? So what does like partying and frat parties and stuff like that look like on a Christian college campus? Parties pertaining to frats and sororities and stuff like that. Like I said, we have functions. At these functions, there's not drinking. I mean, I can only speak for DGR. There's never been drinking at a DGR function that I have been to. I think there's been clubs that have got caught with drinking, or there are drinking, but I don't think it's like crazy or anything compared to a normal frat party. It's not like a frat scene whatsoever. Like I said, our functions are like themed and you like dress up and have fun. I went to a box function. What even was it? It was just like games, and we ate pancakes and wore flannels, and it was at a rock climbing place, and they had like cornhole, and it was like that kind of scene, if you're getting my vibe. College parties is they're like drinking, drugs, whatever. There's definitely parties with drinking at a Christian school. I've never attended one. I will be honest, that is not my scene, that is not my vibe, but I've never been that way. I don't really have friends that go to stuff like that anyways. Like my roommates at least don't go to stuff like that anyways, which, not judging at all, do whatever you want to do. I don't care whatsoever, as long as you're being responsible. There definitely is, they're very under wraps, like they're very kept quiet, because if you get caught drinking here, I don't know exactly what would happen. There are definitely huge consequences. I don't know if you would be expelled, but you're definitely on probation. I'm for sure something like that, you could be expelled. I'm not 100% sure. I still feel like the house parties, drinking parties, whatever happen are still not anywhere compared to like a normal frat college party, if you know what I mean. But yes, there is still drinking that happens. People always will find a way. If that's what they want to do, they will do it, and they will find a way. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the third question, which is the faculty and staff, or even students in that matter, strict on rules? Rules. We do have a lot of strange little rules. I was really scared of the faculty and my professors, and even like the students like being really strict. I was scared that it would just feel like going to high school. I just kind of wanted my freedom, but I feel like they're not strict on rules. Well, no. Okay, wait. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to sort this out in my brain. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna come back to this question in a second because it's gonna answer my next question. So, do you have to abide by a dress code? We do have a dress code here. It's changed since I came in as a freshman. When I came in, it was no shorts whatsoever. Girls can't wear shorts, like tank tops, that sort of like normal dress code that you probably abided by in high school. Now you can wear shorts to class. I've never been dress coded. I've worn shorts to class. I've seen girls wear Nike shorts to class and them not get dress coded. I think it really depends on your professor. I wear shorts literally every time I go to the gym. I see girls running outside in shorts. They're completely fine. I wear a tank top to the gym. Completely fine. So yes, there is a dress code. It's never been an issue for me. I know a lot of people that it's never been an issue for, but there are a couple of people that I know that have gotten dress coded and been asked to go change. So that answers that. Going back to like, are they strict on rules? So with that certain circumstance, no. Now we have a curfew rule that comes up quite often in conversation when talking about Christian schools and the strictness, especially my school. It's known as one of the more strict Christian schools. Hold on. We do have a curfew. So if you live on campus, you have to be in your room from midnight to I think like 5 a.m. Friday night and Saturday night, you have to be in your room by 1 a.m. Next year, I am hopefully living in privileged housing and we will not have that curfew anymore. There are ways to get around this curfew if you live off campus in a house. We do get bed checks, which is embarrassing. I am embarrassed to even say that we have an RA who comes in at midnight every night. She has a key to her room, comes in and shines the flashlight, make sure that we are in fact in our room. If you want to leave, you have to like fill out a form saying I'm gonna be here with this person, here's our contact information, I will be there. There are ways to get around curfew for sure. People do it all the time and do not get caught. And another rule that I didn't even think of that my roommate shared was that you cannot have boys in your dorm. Girls cannot go into boys' dorms. Technically, I'm in like a dorm sort of apartment. I can't have boys here. We used to have open dorm, I think once or twice a month before COVID happened. The doors had to stay open, the windows had to be open, they could not use our bathroom. Crazy strictness. If you live off campus, again, doesn't apply to you at all. And I know living off campus is very normal, literally just like what you do at a normal college, but at a Christian college it's a lot more rare to live off campus. You're usually on campus like the whole time. Other rules, like obviously no drinking and stuff. Like I said, people do it if you want to do it. There's a way to do it and not get caught. People get caught and then they get mad. I'm like, you knew you were going to a Christian school, you knew what you were signing up for, and if you want to drink, just be smart about it. I feel like I could be answering so many more questions, but I don't want this to be the longest video in the world. Like, going back to the original question, is the faculty and staff strict on rules? Like, yes and no. Like, just yes and no. Like, yes, no, they're not strict on the dress code. Yes, they're strict on pretty much everything else, but there's like ways around it, very easy ways around it. So next, is there any sort of hookup culture, or like what is the dating scene like? And this question was inspired by my roommate, who asked, why doesn't Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead go to our school, or whatever she said. Okay, yeah, is there a hookup culture? No. Overall, I would say no, there is not a hookup culture on this campus that I am on. There's a lot of pressure to date and get married here. People date and break up, but I still wouldn't say there's really a hookup culture. I don't really know anyone on Tinder or like dating apps like that. I'm sure there are those people that do hook up and go on to the next person, which is totally fine. I'm sure those people do exist here. The next question is, why did I personally choose to go to a Christian college? Because I heard all these things. I heard all these rumors about the school and how strict it is and how horrible it was. I talked to people that had gone here and hated it and wish they didn't go here. I only heard bad things about this school. So why the heck did I choose to go to a Christian school? I was really scared to come here, not because it was Christian particularly, like that was fine. It was that I felt like it was still like high school and a lot of rules. I didn't want to have curfew. I didn't even have a curfew at home, so like why would I come here and have a curfew? I really didn't want to have a dress code, but that hasn't even affected me. I didn't want to go to chapel. I haven't even addressed that question, which is one of the rules. We do have to go to chapel Monday through Friday. That's been very different because of COVID. Last semester chapel was online. It was like on Canvas and you just had to click, I watched this chapel. No one actually watched it. We are starting chapel next week again, but either you're in the Monday Wednesday group or the Tuesday Thursday groups. I'm not excited for it, but I think it's still way better than Monday through Friday chapel. I could talk more about chapel, which maybe in part 2 I'll talk more about. Yeah, I didn't want to go to chapel. I didn't want to have a Bible class. You are required to have a Bible class every single semester. Again, I can talk more about in part 2. I didn't want to have any of those things, and I was really scared people were gonna be strict and judge me if I didn't want to go to church that Sunday. I think it was my 3rd day as a freshman. I was walking on campus. It wasn't until that 3rd day I was like, wait, I actually really like it here and I actually really love being here. Why did I actually choose to come here? It was because they had a really good social work program. Number 1, I am a social work major, and that has been the biggest blessing being here. I freaking love my professors. The social work program here is top notch. I know I'm biased, but I feel like we have the best social work program ever. 2, it was a good distance from home, but not too far. It's like a 5-6 hour drive for me from home. I didn't want to go to all the schools everyone from my high school is going to. I really wanted to get out and try something new, and I came in here knowing absolutely no one, which was a pro for me. Somehow it worked out, and I actually love it here despite all those things that sounded so annoying and so frustrating and that I was dreading. They ended up not being that big of a deal at all. I know it probably sounds like such the biggest deal to people who don't go to a Christian school and don't have these rules. It probably sounds terrible and awful. Like, I so get it. I was so there. It just became my only option, and it was the only place that fit my criteria, and I was like, well, if I hate it, I can transfer somewhere else. That's what I told myself. I said, if I am miserable here and hate it and am genuinely depressed here, then I will transfer. That never happened, and I love the people I met. I'm going off on a tangent. That is why I chose to come to a Christian university. Now I just have a couple assumptions that I'm gonna throw in and try not to talk too much on. One assumption I got is that everyone is Christian here. That is not true. I also had that assumption. For the most part, everyone is Christian, but not everyone is Christian. I think a lot of people say they're Christian and aren't. All of our professors are Christian. I'll say that. You have to attend church and be a Christian in order to be a professor here. The next assumption kind of goes along with it, is everyone is conservative. This for sure I can say is not true. This was a big assumption of mine. No. Is everyone Christian? Almost. But is everyone conservative? No. I think a lot of people are conservative. I know a lot people are liberal here, way more than I was expecting. A lot of people are open-minded and down for a discussion, especially coming from my professors. I feel like all my professors are always down for a good discussion. And the last assumption is you're required to go to church every week. No, no. Like I said, you do not have to be a Christian to come here. We do have chapel, but chapel is not church. They try to make it church, and I can go into a whole nother video about chapel. They cannot force you to go to church here. That is, I think, illegal. We are not a cult. You know, you have freedom to believe what you want. You are definitely encouraged to go to church. A lot of people go to church here. A lot. But yeah, they can't make you go to church every week. So, okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think that is all the questions and assumptions I am going to answer. I could talk so much more and answer so much more. So please let me know if you would like a part 2. I think I'm definitely gonna do one with my roommate next. Definitely go check out my other videos. I've vlogged a couple weeks here if you want to check it out and see what like a normal week looks like for me at a Christian school. That will be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.